Hey crypto friends, congrats to the bulls. Bitcoin is mid-breakout, watching a big old daily candle form and head to higher highs. This is a great sign for the space as a whole. The weekly time frame getting followed through, essentially just acting as a laggard to the S&P 500, which had the same weekly consolidation and broke to a higher high a couple weeks earlier. And that's actually part of the reason why I increased. I'll give my 3 reasons in a second, but Bitcoin bulls in full control, and with the price that we're currently seeing, this is the highest price that we have seen since 10,939, which is our next resistance level, and that was back in September. So 10-month highs in the price of Bitcoin, very notable. So I talked recently how I increased my long-term exposure into Bitcoin and Ethereum, and it's nice being in a long-term position right now because I don't need to worry about doing anything, and I'm just going to let this move play out, and I'll sit through daily consolidation, no biggie. But the 3 reasons, number one, S&P 500 and how similar this chart was, and knowing that Bitcoin has been hand in hand with the S&P 500 this entire COVID bounce. And again, like I said, SPY, healthy weekly consolidation and headed back up to a higher high last week. And it was there 2 weeks ago at that resistance. That's point number one, looking for Bitcoin to follow along as it has been the whole time and see something similar. Number two, gold at all-time highs, silver, mainstream media FOMO, headline narrative. They can easily see that narrative switch from that kind of FOMO to crypto FOMO. And again, any mainstream headlines only help that FOMO. And reason number 3, what was reason number 3? SPY, gold. Reason number 3 was Bitcoin on the daily time frame with its very clear tightening range. We knew a break was imminent. We knew to be watching for a volume spike with that break. And it was just this pattern, and seeing that pattern break bullish was, again, another point in favor of adding longer-term position. So you can't ask for any better follow-through than that, and what stands out, increasing bull volume each move up. And again, lack of resistance is when the bulls can start flexing in terms of moving rapidly and needing less dollar volume to do so. 10,939, 12,320. And one thing to be aware of is, number one, we have not changed the monthly trend back to the bulls. We have broken the monthly lower highs, absolutely, but we will need a monthly higher low and higher high eventually to see notable follow through. And number two, if we condense this down to the 2-month time frame, it is possible to set a lower high compared to 13,800 and see this chart tighten up further. Do not lose sight of that possibility. Whether or not it's the most likely scenario or not remains to be seen. We're currently still about 25% plus from that resistance. I just would not be surprised at all to see this happen. So I would probably increase position even further on looking for a higher low if we do remain in this tightening range. So just be aware of that. As far as the short-term action goes, we've got 5-minute uptrends to be watching. There's our bull volume pouring in on our resistance breaks. When we lose the 5-minute uptrend, we'll look at the hourly 12-period exponential support, which has been a great visual guide over the last 2 days. When we lose the hourly uptrend, we will zoom out and look for a 4-hour higher low, which has held this entire bull move over the last 6 days. And we will not see daily consolidation as long as the 4-hour 12-period exponential support remains. Forgot to mention, we've also got our alert system with a new code, 30% off of the premium signals. And again, there's already a free week when you sign up for the premium signals. So free week and 30% off. Crypto-3x is the code. And again, our goal is to just get you all to try this for 1 month, make enough profit to justify the subscription cost with 1 trade on that alert in that 1 month, and then keep using the service if it is helpful to you. So we talked a bit in a recent video how the alert system was giving us it was giving us great signals while we were in a tightening range, nailing tops and bottoms, but we started to see it shift where the overbought super stack signals on the 4-hour time frame were not giving bear follow through, and that told us the market environment is shifting. So now how to utilize the alert system is either using the uptrend preset that we have made, but essentially just watching for short-term oversold conditions, because we know bulls are going to be all over the first 5-minute oversold bounce, the first hourly oversold bounce. So we are shifting the market environment from a constricting range where the 4-hour time frame was nailing tops and bottoms as we got tighter and tighter, And now we're shifting to be looking at it from a bullish environment where we are looking at dip buying on short-term time frames seeing weakness. Bitcoin dominance chart is doing what I suspected it would on this move, which is a bull break, and that's because everybody's focused on Bitcoin. Altcoins had their run over the last couple of weeks, and now everybody's focused on Bitcoin for this very clear break. Again, everybody was watching the same resistance levels, and here we are blowing through them. And another point I made in the recent live stream was we want to see the bull break without a 5-minute dump right after it. And of course, that's exactly what we're seeing. This is ideal follow through. So Bitcoin dominance chart breaking the daily lower highs. We know we will need a daily trend change with a higher low and higher high for follow through, but the weekly bounce is now underway. The question is, are we going to set a weekly lower high compared to 66.68? And altcoin season is done for now as ETH, again, still bullish. Upper wick is forming though, and here's Bitcoin breaking out, and you see ETH is trading sideways. And that is because ETH BTC is pulling back very rapidly. So essentially what's going on right now is a lot of altcoins are trading sideways while Bitcoin's breaking out, which is leading to their Bitcoin pairing dumping. So the altcoins themselves, their US dollars pairings are not dumping, but the Bitcoin pairings are because they're not going up while Bitcoin is breaking out. 11,000 is on deck. Let's see if we can break 11,000 before I'm done this video. So ETH, again, there's no major red flags. We're in a 4-hour uptrend. We have 4-hour exponential support. It's just better gains in Bitcoin on this current breakout. When we lose the 4-hour uptrend on ETH, when we lose the 4-hour 12-period exponential, the odds of daily consolidation will increase significantly. And again, there's tons of space for a daily higher low to form. ETH BTC is looking for a daily higher low. Tons of space here as well. But again, the consolidation has already started in a big way from that high. BNB USDT pulling back, looking for a daily higher low, tons of space for that to form. I would call anything above 1681 as a daily higher low. XTZ USD is in a daily downtrend now. We broke support without much follow through, so you could argue it's a double bottom at the moment. So there's a potential play off that double bottom, but we'll just be looking for lower highs on the bounce, whether it's on the hourly or 4-hour or daily time frame. It's a lower high and lower low. So now we zoom out and look for a weekly higher low to form compared to 220. Link USD also losing its mojo. Daily downtrend confirmed. Zoom out, weekly consolidation underway, and it definitely is worth scouting for patient bulls, scouting a weekly higher low coming off the all-time high. 4-hour oversold bounce. This is not the first 4-hour oversold conditions coming off the all-time high, and that is important to note. Plenty of space for a healthy weekly higher low to form. And as soon as this Bitcoin momentum putters out, whenever that is, sometime in the next couple of days, and we look for Bitcoin daily consolidation, that's when we start looking back and saying, okay, should I start scouting a weekly higher low in some of the names like Link? ADA USDT had a bull break of a tightening daily range, but straight into this altcoin consolidation, daily support is 1205, must form a higher low compared to that level. LTC, trying for a daily bull flag. Weekly resistance still has to see a break of 50.96 to bring us back to the highest price on this bounce. So overall, definitely a lot of work to do. If LTC was as strong as Bitcoin right now, we'd be up over $90. So obviously a very big difference between those names. And XRP, looking for a daily higher low to form, but again, just disappointing comparative to a ton of altcoins and to Bitcoin itself. Same thing as LTC, 236 would have to break to get back to the high of the COVID bounce. And if we were as strong as Bitcoin right now, we'd be up in the 35 cent plus, 50% higher than where we stand right now. So the weaker coins are definitely still weaker. Even our stronger altcoins are seeing notable consolidation, some losing their daily uptrend. Now the question is, how far can this Bitcoin bull move take place? Keeping in mind, we are going to look at the potential of a volume climax forming here. This is the highest daily volume with 6-7 hours to go. Highest volume in a couple of months. And I'm not going to be looking for a climax unless we see some kind of huge push up and very fast push down with a lot of bear volume behind it. And right now we're just looking for a 5-minute higher low next time we consolidate. Establish your game plan. When are you going to take profit? Are you going to base your taking of profit off of selling into strength? or are you going to use a time frame uptrend as your guide? I prefer to sell partial positions into strength and then set a clear criteria for the rest of my position. So maybe I sell on this bull move right now and say, okay, well, as long as we keep the 4-hour, 12-period exponential support, I will remain in the rest of my position if I want to let this swing trade try and play out a bit longer. 5-minute time frame, a little bit more pullback now. But again, EMA support on the 5-minute as well, so no major red flags. So set your clear trade criteria. Don't FOMO and chase. And congrats to the bulls. My focus longer term was all about 10,500, 10,400, and now it is all about 13,800 for the potential of a 2-month lower high compared to that level and continued tightening range into 2021. Absolutely a possibility. Worth keeping an eye on. Do good things. Congrats, bulls. Today's potato harvesting day. You can see all the plants have died off. These are some big weeds that I didn't care about because they weren't obstructing anything. So these are all the dead potato plants, and it's kind of like digging for buried treasure. So it's always a fairly fun task. The downside is I've done it before in a 400-foot long rose field, and you'll occasionally get a rotten one. And it's from the seed that you planted. It's still goo. And it's one of the most foul things you'll ever smell in your life. And you just get a big handful of it. It's great.
Let's speed it up here.
Just found the tunnel with a little vole. We'll leave him that. So that's probably the best haul yet from one plant. And you get all that, and to plant it, you take one of these potatoes and all the eyes that pop up on it start growing the actual plant. And you can just cut them into sections where you just need one section of an eye per whatever you plant. So this would probably be 2 different plants right here. So one of those, half of one of these, and that's what you get. Return on investment. Exponential. So that's our haul. I had already harvested 2 of the 8 plants. And we got 4 more plants in another bed. But that's a lot of potatoes. Gotta give some of those away.